Live from the House of LeMay Makeup and Dressing Room.
Here comes Amber. Stop what you're doing. Here comes Amber. She's just doing what she can. Here comes Amber. Cue the spotlight. Here comes Amber with 2 drinks in her hand. The matriarch of fashion, secrets to her glasses, you can't look away. Ask her, does she do it? There's really nothing to it. She's got that feminine game. If you have a party, or if you're feeling naughty, call up the House of LeMay. Here comes your favorite gal. Here comes your queen. Here comes the talk of the town. It's Amber Live tonight. The music starts to playing. It's time for cabareting on Amber Live tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off all cell phones and get ready for your host, Amber LeMay.
Hello. Amber LeMay here. Well, actually, I'm not here. I'm in Provincetown, but we've got a great show lined up for you. But first, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. Share the joy of Amber Live. All right, Russell, come on in and let's talk about tonight's show.
Hey, Amber, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Russell. So,
Great.
yes, you and I are, let's see, we're probably either at tea dance or out on a cruise. We're not sure what we'll be doing, but I think we'll be having some fun.
Do you think we're having fun? Because I know you don't like being in P-Town. It's never a good time, is it?
But we will adhere to all the COVID restrictions and precautions that they put out there. We will be very careful.
There will be masks. There will be vaccination cards, and I'm planning on avoiding indoor spaces for the most part, other than our house.
Yes, it's a very, very, very fun house.
Yes.
All right. So, Russell, let's share what people should be watching us on.
Well, as you know, we are running on a number of platforms, but the best one to watch on is always YouTube. And that's because when you watch on YouTube, you're seeing Amber in full HD, and we want you to enjoy that full HD. You can watch on Facebook, you can watch on Twitch. I think even Twitter carries us, but YouTube's the best place. And you can always go back to YouTube and check out the past shows if you would like. And when you're on YouTube, please remember to subscribe to our channel because we need those followers. That would be a big help, and we need all your help.
Yes, that YouTube, our YouTube channel, I think there's like 500 different videos on there now, complete shows of all of our shows, all 65, 66 shows. And then you've chopped up 70, oh my gosh. You've chopped up all the shows with individual segments and of the individual guests, and those are fun to watch too. So there's a lot to watch on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and there's some original stuff there that you've never seen before anywhere else from the old days. There's all kinds of stuff to see. So we do recommend going and checking it out. You can see Amber in the early years.
I look better now.
Yes, you do. You've aged well.
Vodka does that. It preserves.
I'll call Platinum right away and tell them. And then I do want to talk about my favorite part of the show, and that's what helps keep us on the air, and that's our Bustier Club. And if you'd like to be a LeMay Bustier, we would love to have you join. We had some new ones recently. We had Bianca upped her donation, and DJ Rockstar Aaron, who was a great guest the other night, talked all about the celebrities on his show. He sent us a nice donation as well, so we want to thank them. And you can become a Bustier using the Venmo you see there at RJD Pro, or we now also have a button on our website, amberlive.tv. And if you go there, you can use a credit card if you'd like to do that rather than Venmo. And we have 3 levels. You can give any amount you like. Every penny helps. But if you give $25 or more, we'll send you an Amber Live sticker. If you give $100 or more, you'll get a sticker and a magnet. And for $200 or more, you'll get a sticker, a magnet, and an Amber Live mug, which we love to drink out of our Amber Live mugs. We've always got them in hand.
Yes, yes. Yeah. You know, I love looking at that list of bustiers because not only does it have our loyal, longtime Vermont fans and friends that have been following the House of LeMay for 25 plus years, but also it has a lot of our past guests. And I'm thinking, God, they must have liked the show if they decided to throw some money in the till. Yeah. And plus, it's not just our past guests and our Vermont friends. We've got people on there from California, from Tennessee, from Florida, from Massachusetts, from New York, from Ohio. You know, just it's really amazing how the widespreadness of Amber Live. So
you do like to spread yourself around, Amber,
yeah.
don't you?
Not too thin these days, that's for sure. But no,
and
I really like the support.
P-Town, you're not spreading anything, but
no, well, but none of the bustier money is supporting our venture to P-Town. Let's make that clear. It all stays here in the tube.
It all goes to support things like the cost of the StreamYard, which is the software that runs this. And we have a website that we have to pay for. And there's lots of other things, our mailing list. Everything costs money, unfortunately. So your help is greatly appreciated.
Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's talk about the guests for tonight.
We have an amazing guest tonight. We have been trying for a while to get into the RuPaul Drag Race alumna list, and we have finally broken through. And tonight we have the amazing Charlie Hides, who actually, it turns out, used to live in P-Town and work there in the summer, and now is in Great Britain. So we did a long distance interview with him, and he was on season 9, I think, of RuPaul's Drag Race. So that is going to be and it's an extended interview, so we're going to show it in 2 parts, but it is just fantastic.
And I loved it. I said, well, didn't you sign a non-disclosure agreement? He goes, come and get me. So he spilled some tea. That's a lot of fun.
And then, of course, we've got a lot of our regulars tonight, and we've got some classic stuff, some new stuff, so it's going to be fun. So sit back and enjoy the show. Have a great one, Amber.
No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yes. So we have Charlie Hides, an alumni from RuPaul's Drag Race. And this interview was done back in July, but a lot of great information and entertainment. So take it away, Amber and Charlie. Thanks, Amber. Anyway, as she said, I have a really great guest tonight, and you've seen her on RuPaul's Drag Race and several other places. Let's welcome Charlie Hides. Charlie, come on in.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Charlie. You know, I don't know where to start talking to you because you've got such a great career, and I'd like to know where it's been and where you plan on going in the next couple of years as well. So let's start off. From what I've researched, yes, I do that every once in a while. You started off in Boston, P-Town area. Is that correct?
Yeah, born in Boston, Massachusetts. Started working in comedy clubs in Boston, in Faneuil Hall at the comedy. What was it called? Can't even remember the name. It's been so long. And a club cafe in Boston. And then I started spending my summers in the late 80s, started spending my summers in Provincetown, performing there.
Now, when you were doing the comedy clubs in Boston, were you in drag? Were you?
Yeah, well, I started now. I was underage. I used my brother's fake ID. And so my act at the time was doing lots of different characters and doing bringing stories to life by just putting on quick prop, like a pair of glasses and a cigar to be an old man, or a wig, hats, just silly props to bring the characters that were voices to life. And then there was this one where I just put on this really, this Marilyn Monroe-ish blonde wig and these red cat glasses. And I was this character, this starlet called Candy. And every time I did that character, the audience just elevated. And so then I started getting requests. Oh, could you do just that character? And then of course I had to do full makeup. And then Candy Kane's career was born. So for years, I traveled all around the world as Candy Kane. And then she married an 89-year-old multimillionaire named Reginald Baxter, heir to the soup fortune. And so she then became Candy Cane Baxter. As you do.
Yes. So what type of act did you do in Provincetown?
It was celebrity impersonation. So for many years, it was myself and Joanna James and Dana Denzel, and we were an act called Boys Are Us. We had a big like Vegas style review. Well, we were part of a big Vegas style review in Saugus, Massachusetts, at the Palace, and we had backup dancers and lots of different acts with us. And then we had this opportunity to go to Provincetown. So it was just the three of us rather than like a cast of 10. And it was all celebrity impersonation. Well, mostly celebrity impersonation and comedy.
And so have you been back to Provincetown recently?
I have not. I was there in the summer of 2004. I got married with my husband. That was a summer that same-sex marriage became legal in Massachusetts, and I just happened to be performing there that summer. So my husband and I got married, but my career took off on this side of the Atlantic here in the United Kingdom. So I've not been back in a long time. Although my heart, every summer, I log on. There are a couple of webcams. There was one at Spiritus, one at Town Hall that I could log on to. And I would and I would see people in Provincetown. I would just log on. There was one above like the candy shop that you could actually move the camera, and I could see people going up and down Commercial Street, and I'd get my little fix.
I better be careful when I'm back there on
Carnival.
I'll wave to you.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. I'll wave to you. So had Provincetown changed any from the 1980s until 2004?
It had gotten a lot more upscale. It was a lot more expensive from what I remember. Due to the court-ordered electroshock therapy I had in the early 80s, I don't have an awful lot of memory of that time. But it seemed more expensive. There were a lot more private jets at the Provincetown airport.
Ooh, they weren't ours. They weren't ours.
No. I usually come in by yacht.
How nice. Nice. So that was 2004. So at the time you were living there in United Kingdom?
Yeah, I've been living. So my husband is British. He was a nanny back in 96, December of 96. He was a nanny who had come from England to Boston to work for a family. And we met old school at a coffee shop. And when his visa ran out, we had been together by that point for like 10 months. And because of the rules, he wasn't allowed to stay in the US. So I sort of followed him to England. Some would say stalked, but I sold up everything I had, sold my car, sold my possessions, and moved to the United Kingdom with a suitcase and 27 quid and a dream.
And what was that dream other than hooking up with your husband?
Yeah, well, to get myself an Englishman. The dream was to perform all over Europe and all over the world, and I've certainly done that. So I can retire now.
Well, very nice. So how was the act different? Did you have to do a different type of act than what you had done in the United States?
I did. The big difference is on the circuit where I first started to work, they were used to singers. They were used to a man in a dress walking out and singing and entertaining for a full hour, like in a bar, cabaret, a nightclub. And my act previously had been a lot of quick changes and a lot of different characters. And as soon as you'd win them over with one character, you'd get applause and step off, and then you change it to the next character. It sort of was like you had to win them over again. Where all the other acts that I was seeing were just that come out and that have one outfit on and that tell jokes and stories and sing and get the whole audience singing along. And it was a lot of singing. And my act had previously been a lot of comedy, a lot of word-based material. So I realized I got to start singing more. The more I sang, the more I was able to hold them in my hand, the palm of my hand. I mean, basically our job as an entertainer is to engage the audience for as long as we're asking for their attention, whether it's 3 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 90 minutes. It's to keep them, engaged. And so I realized on that circuit at that time, at that scene, that being a singer, whether it was top 40 songs or old show tunes or song parodies, that singing was the key to getting the audience. If you sing Sweet Caroline in any pub in the United Kingdom, Sweet Caroline, bam, 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 and you just have them. So they love a good sing along here in the United Kingdom. So that in that way, that was the biggest way that my act changed. Yeah.
So you said you traveled to Europe. Now, do you speak multiple languages or do you need to?
Bonsoir. Omelette du fromage. Où est la bibliothèque? Le salon est sur la coin de la rue. Yeah, I was performing in places like Club Meds where it was English speaking tourists. So I've done cruises, the Atlantis cruises, and of course that's all over the Med and the Baltic and everything. And I remember about summer of 2012, I was hired to do a big event. There's this big event in Rome called Gay Village. And just imagine this huge outdoor park that's, just think of the biggest Pride you've ever been to, 7 nights a week for like the entire summer or for 6 weeks. That's in the heart of Rome. It's called Gay Village. And there's different dance tents and pavilions, and there's like a whole area of restaurants and chill out areas and retail shops and performance stages. And so I was hired to perform for 20,000 people, and I can learn enough of a language phonetically to get through a show. So I learned a bunch of phonetic Italian. I did have some crib notes. I had some notes on the stage, but literally I had my backup dancers just before the show, like teaching me pronunciation. And I was able to chat with the audience, and just enough to flirt and joke and get a few laughs in. But yeah. That's the extent of my foreign language. I love foreign tongue.
Oh, who doesn't? Ooh. So
who doesn't?
All right. So you was that as Candy Cane or was that as Charlie Hines? And how did that transfer?
Yeah. Okay. So my career started to transition when my YouTube channel took off, because I decided to call my YouTube channel Charlie Hides because it's my name, because I had so many different characters. Rather than filter everything through the point of view of Candy Cane, she was just one character. It was just a decision I made: be who you are. And so if I was doing celebrity impersonations or original characters, it was all under the umbrella of the Charlie Hides YouTube channel. But what happened, because I did some parodies in the this is 10 years ago now, in the run up to going viral, I had done some movie parodies like Scream. The Scream franchise was probably on 3 or 4 at that point. So I did, in my parody of it, I started with the Drew Barrymore doing the popcorn, and then the Scream guy calling, and then he proceeds to call a bunch of celebrities. So he calls Judge Judy, and he calls Paris Hilton, and and I was playing all these characters, and that one went viral. And then I did a couple of Lady Gaga parodies, like song parodies. And then I don't know what happened, but I just decided I know what happened was I was doing a lot of topical zeitgeisty sort of references. I was finger on the pulse, sort of what's going on in pop culture. I'll mock it. And at the time, Lady Gaga's career was going through the roof. Do you remember at that point in her career when she was changing her outfit every like 5 minutes? She was on the cover of every newspaper. Every day she would have changed, and each outfit was more amazing than the next. And Madonna had sort of retreated a little bit because she was editing her movie, the Wallace Simpson movie. And so in my head, I imagined, is this getting to Madonna that all the gays are paying attention to Gaga? And then I just thought, well, what would that be like? What is Madonna's world at the moment? And I shot a little video, and I remember it distinctly because it went viral on my birthday 10 years ago, July 12th. And it just went massively viral, hundreds of thousands of views, and now over 1 million views. And so it became a channel where I did lots of different celebrity impersonations and some original characters. And I realized I would get the best results when I put the original characters in scenes with the celebrities. So that's what my YouTube channel became. And that's how I got known prior to being on Drag Race. I got known for that.
All right. Wasn't that a fun interview? But there's more. Yes, there's more. We'll have more of Charlie Hides in just a few more minutes. But first, let's bring Russell back in and talk.
Hey, Amber. Oh, my God. What a great interview this is.
That was really a fun afternoon talking
it
to
was.
him.
We were privileged to have him on the show. Or her.
Yes. Quite an entertainer and a very nice person. Yeah, and we got more coming up, so stick around. We have the other part of that interview, and we have some other fun stuff too, so stick around.
And Rocco later in the show. I do want to take a moment to remind people about the Bustiers Club. You can help us out and help us keep getting great guests like Charlie Hides using the Venmo that you see there, RJD Pro, or using your credit card at amberlive.tv. Just go there and look for the Support Amber Live button. And we highly appreciate anything you can give to help us keep going on the air. So that's a lot of great support we get from everyone. And one other way you can support us is always through the merchandise store. So you can go to Amber Live TV and see that. And here's a word from our sponsor.
Summertime, and it's time for vacation. Vacation. Where would I want to go? I know. I think I'd like to go to the beach. Don't worry. I'm bringing my vodka with me. Oh, wow. If I'm going to the beach, you know what? I'm going to need some beach towels. Where can I get some quality beach towels? Oh, I know. amberlive.tv. There's a bunch of collection of really nice towels. And how about some t-shirts and some muscle shirts? Those would look nice on the beach. And let's see. If it gets cool at night at the clam bake, what am I going to wear? I better take along my Amber Live TV sweatshirt. Yes, that would be fun to wear. And then at night, at night, I don't have to order anything because I already have my Amber Live TV pillow. Oh, so soft. You're going to love it. And then the next morning, what are you going to need? You're going to need an Amber Live mug to drink your coffee or whatever you want to put in it. And if you haven't gotten enough peen lately, check out our Rusty Peen collection. Everyone wants more peen. All this and more is available at amberlive.tv. Order yours today.
So, yes, you can get your mug and have it shipped very quickly. It won't be there today, but hopefully just a few days.
Yes, order that merchandise.
Yes, all right. Well, thank you, Amber. Keep going. Have a great second half of the show.
Yes. All right. Let's get back to Charlie. All right. Let's talk about drag. Are you allowed to talk about drag race?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I've signed a non-disclosure agreement. They can sue me if they want to.
All right.
Let them sue me.
What's the most asked question you get about RuPaul's Drag Race?
What does Michelle Visage's vagina taste like? Which I think, quite frankly, is rude. but my mother does ask the poignant questions. She fancies herself a Barbara Walters. No, the most asked question. What's RuPaul like, maybe? Or did you have fun? Or what was it like meeting Lady Gaga? That's a big one.
Ooh. Oh, I bet. Yes, yes. So you were on that season with a bunch of names, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the most winning season ever. Sasha, of course, won, and then Trinity won All Stars. Shea Coulee has won All Stars. Eureka O'Hara is on All Stars. So yeah, it's a pretty winning season. Excuse me if it's after 7 p.m. here in the United Kingdom, and I'm required by law to drink gin.
You go right ahead. All right, so on RuPaul, you were eliminated rather early. Why do you think you were eliminated?
Because I broke my rib doing cheerleading. So the second week. Now, mind you, I'm the oldest contestant to have ever competed on RuPaul's Drag Race in history. And they just thought, wouldn't it be fun if we made the old bat do cheerleading? I mean, they were making me do cartwheels. They were asking me to do things I haven't done since my junior prom. And that was in the back of a what was it, a Dodge Dart Swinger Special. But yeah, so it was the cheerleading challenge just killed me. I was lifting Shea Coulee, someone half my age. I had to lift him up in the air, not 20 times, not 30, like close to 40 times during rehearsals. And on the day that we actually filmed the cheerleading thing, what people don't know is that whenever they do one of those great big dance routines or like a big set piece number, they show the choreographer working with the dancers and then them getting it wrong. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do this. And they struggle and they struggle. And then they turn the cameras off. And then they rehearse, they change the choreography, they break it down for you, they make it easy, and you rehearse it for a couple of days. So that's what happened to us. You saw us first doing the cheerleading on a Thursday, and then we rehearsed all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and we filmed it on Monday. And on the second time through on filming lifting Shake, I thought I got kneed. I thought he like hit me in the knee, and it was just my rib cracked. And so from that point on, I was duct taping my rib, and I just struggled from that point on. So c'est la vie. Things you don't always get what you want. Sometimes you just get what you get.
So that's interesting because it looks like, okay, today's challenge is boom. So you practice it in the morning and then they film it at night, you know?
No,
it's hard to get a time. Yeah.
It's become those big set pieces like the musicals, you know, when they do the Rusical, those have been rehearsed for several days, this choreography, and it's like they're making television. So they want it to look like it happened like that. And then they want you to be surprised and by look how polished it is and look how good it is. Look at all the stunts and the flips. Yeah. Several. I probably shouldn't say that. Yeah, we rehearsed for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's all we rehearsed.
So were you able to do Snatch Game that season?
I was not.
What would you have done if you had?
I have very few regrets in life. Very few regrets. And that is one that I didn't get to do. I didn't get to do Snatch Game.
Who would you have done during Snatch Game?
I brought Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, with me, which oddly enough, this hair just looks like a blue version of that right now. I think I brought Sharon Osbourne with me, and I brought Joan Rivers.
Has anyone done Joan Rivers?
No Americans have. I saw somebody do it in Canada and wasn't impressed. But yeah, my Joan is pretty legendary.
Well, can I meet her?
I wasn't. Well, you've obviously met her plastic surgeon.
That's fun. So what are some?
Well, with Joan, you just have to start with it. I mean, everybody. This is the thing. I did Joan as a professionally for years, and what I did was I wrote material that was topical. Even after Joan died, I would write material that was, what would Joan say about this, or what would Joan say about what's going on in the news? But the thing about Joan is, I mean, it starts with the voice. Oh, can we talk? And she talked like this. Oh, look at you! You've got the scarf on, aren't you? You look like a Republican housewife that's about to go to the NRA. That's what you look like. Yes, in front of a brick wall. Just line him up and shoot him. Joan had a very distinct point of view, very distinct comedy style, very distinct voice. So it was always really easy for me to slip into her so I know I would have been able to ad lib. And I was at a drag con in Los Angeles a couple of years ago. I was on a board. What's it called? Yeah, I guess it's a board. Panel. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. I was looking for a panel. I was on a panel, and I don't know who it was. Somebody just asked me a question. What was your Joan like? And I just started ad-libbing, and I did a whole like 7-minute routine, and all of my fellow panelists, which is, it was Eureka and Cynthia Lee Fontaine and James Mansfield, and they were just howling, laughing, and they were just, keep going. And I was like, no, I'm done. No, keep going. On the bus ride back to the hotel, they were telling me things that I had said I didn't even remember saying.
Just channeling.
Yeah, well, it might have been the edibles. It was California at the time.
So, who are some of your other favorite characters?
Well, on my YouTube channel, I've done like 70, 80 characters. Celebrities. I've always loved when I do Cher, because my take on Cher was I didn't want to do an exact impersonation of Cher. And the sort of angle, look at when you watch Saturday Night Live, they take one thing about somebody's personality and they hook it, that's the hook, that's the way into the character. That, like, whether it's Tina Fey doing when she did Sarah Palin, or they find that one thing that they might accentuate and crank up. I took the position that Cher was so famous that she didn't really know or care who anybody was, and that she would do it for a laugh. So in the Charlie Hides world on YouTube, I imagine that Madonna, Cher, Lady Gaga, Liza Minnelli, Joan Rivers, Sharon Osbourne, Lana Del Rey, all the famous people regularly hung around together at a place called Divas Anonymous, or they would hang out at Cher's house for book club, or they would braid each other's hairs and play Jenga. And that when these different celebrities would call her up to say, hey, Cher, did you hear what's going on? This is in the news. Because I would write the shows, I would write each episode like within an hour of filming. Like I would write it on a Monday or Tuesday and then film right away and then upload it on Wednesday. So all the jokes were topical, like Saturday Night Live. And they would call up Cher and they'd say, Cher, did you hear this? What's going on? Did you hear Lady Gaga slapped a policeman or whatever? And Cher would say, who? Like she never knew who anybody was. Hey, oh, Cher, it's me, Joan Rivers. Who? Hi, it's me, Lana Del Rey. Who? And then they'd have to say, I won an Academy Award, or they'd have to give her all these. No, never heard of you. And she was cantankerous, and she'd hang up on them, and I just had fun with it, and that was my version of Cher. And for better or worse, it got a laugh. It made me laugh, and that's all that matters.
So have you heard from any of the people that you impersonate?
I have indeed.
Spill some tea.
Well, from a lot of them. Cher famously started following Twitter about 7 years back when she only followed like 78 people. I was number 79. I'd heard from her vocal coach here in London that she had been watching my videos, and that she and her sister and some of her friends were doing impersonations, like they would mimicking my impersonation of Cher. And Cher thought it was funny. And so when Cher, she was being interviewed by somebody, I think it might have been when she was in Australia, and they asked her who her favorite impersonator was of her, and she said me, and it's in print.
How exciting!
So yeah, and she complimented. She's talked about my videos on YouTube and that I was doing Madonna and Lady Gaga and then Lady Gaga was very complimentary when I met her. And I apologized to her about all the videos I made. She said, "No, don't worry, honey. I think they're hysterical. You're so funny." That's my Gaga impersonation. But yeah, you know, people have been very kind, and I know that Madonna has seen my videos as well. But
all right, so you've done that. You've done RuPaul. You've done the clubs. You've done the tours. Now you're playing bingo.
Well, yeah. Well, why wouldn't I be? Why wouldn't I be? Interesting story about bingo and Provincetown, my favorite place on earth, is so back in early 90s, I was performing 6 nights a week doing my show Boys R Us, and my friend David Flower, who does all the circuit parties there, the summer camp parties, he was doing his regular club nights at the Crown and Anchor, and he said it would be really fun on Tuesday nights, my one night a week off, if we did gay bingo. And I said I agreed to it, and you know there was money involved, and he said free drink tickets. So I said yes. And so I agreed to it. But then on the day, I was like, oh, I just can't get into glamour drag again. You know, I've been running around with the big blonde hair and everything. So I went into my drag room. I called him up. I said, can I just show up as a character? He said, show up however you want. So I went into my drag room and I started pulling on these different accessories. And like that, I created a character called Angelina Tortelloni. And in my head, she was the widow from East Boston. You know the houses in East Boston where they have the Madonna on the half shell patron saint of bathtubs. You know those?
Oh yes.
Yeah, with the harvest gold aluminum siding, and I
Mary
decided,
on the half shell. Yes.
Exactly, Mary on the half shell. So I decided that Angelina Tortelloni would smoke Virginia Slims. She'd be a widow. She'd have 2 kids from Angela. What was the kid's name? Sabino. I can't remember. From Angela, and she'd hey, how you doing? My name is Angelina Tortelloni from East Boston. My son is Sabino. He's a stupid boy. And I did all this age makeup. When I showed up at the bingo and started doing it, they didn't know who I was. All these queens that knew Candy came. Look at who is that little old Italian lady? Where did David get her? And so if somebody asked me a question, I would answer in character. And all of a sudden, kind of like I was the antenna. I could ad lib, I could answer, I could tell you. And as I'm doing this bingo night, different people in the room, I knew them. I'd known them for years. So I would tell them gossip about themselves. I would make fun of them and their ex-boyfriend. They're like, how does this old lady know this? And that began my love affair with bingo. And I did it that summer. And then when I moved to England, I took a hiatus from bingo. And a couple of years ago, I just started doing it again and started having a lot of fun. And I could, there are no rules. I can just do whatever I want. And so I started doing bingos before the pandemic, in theaters and big venues. And I actually had a whole sold out tour booked, and then the pandemic hit. And I thought, what am I going to do? Here in the United Kingdom, we were shut down for 6 weeks. After refunding all the tickets, my eyes were bloodshot from crying. I was like, I got to do something for 6 weeks. So I thought, okay, well, I'll try to see if I can do bingo online. And I did, and it's been a huge success. And
very
I've
good.
got the most successful bingo in the world. Thank you very much. So yeah.
Well, that is so cool. So what do you want to do now? Now that the pandemic is over?
It's not over. Have you heard of something called the Delta variant?
I live
yeah.
in Vermont.
There's an entire Greek alphabet of variants up the wazoo, just waiting to pounce. Well, right. So I'm going to be returning to live, doing a little theater in the West End called The Garrick, in the West End at the end of the month on July 31st. So yeah, just returning by going back to the West End. And after I do that, I've just got a solid, at the moment, I'm doing tons and tons of corporates online. So what happened was I had started doing these bingos, and then I started getting calls and emails from what I call the gay mafia. Gay men that I've known over the years, met on cruises, or that knew from shows, who were in the HR department at Google, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, all these big Disney, and just saying, all of our employees are stuck at home. We're all working from home. We want to do something fun. So I started doing like team social. What's the word I'm looking for? Team socials, team building. Cocktail happy hours on a Friday, bingos, quizzes, game shows, you name it. And the word started to spread. And so I never advertised, never marketed. I just answered phone calls and put bookings in the diary. And so if you had asked me about this a year ago, like, did you think you were going to be interviewing people on the internet 16 months ago?
No.
Did you, when you first did your first interview, did you think you'd still be doing? Did you think you'd be scraping the bottom of the barrel? Who is this blue-haired freak, and why am I talking to her?
Here, 68 weeks later, I get to
yeah,
you.
Exactly, and that's what it's been like for me with corporates. Today I just finished a show for a huge accountancy firm. It's an international accountancy firm. This was my 6th or 7th that I've done for them, and so. Like I said, companies like Netflix and Google and Microsoft and Amazon, they've got so many different departments and so many different time zones. I'll do the European office, and I'll do the London office, and I'll do the East Coast office, and I'll do the Chicago office. And my day starts, early in the afternoon doing things in the European market, then the UK, and then, take a break. And then all of a sudden it's 4:00 in the afternoon in New York, and then it's 4:00 in LA, and it's midnight here in England. And there's worse ways.
And I have a feeling they pay you in more than drink tickets. Is that?
This plastic surgery on an 89-year-old woman to make them look 60 ain't cheap.
Oh,
yeah, no.
I tell you. Okay, you said you have a birthday. We're filming this on July 8th, but you said you had a birthday on the 12th. How many candles should be on that cake? I don't know.
Right, well, by then, I will already have had my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, dear Charlie. Happy birthday to me. Woo, thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, does each one of those candles indicate a decade, or?
Each one is a millennia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie, thank you so much for coming into my basement to talk to me.
Is that where I am?
Yes, you're in my basement.
I was told this would be a penthouse interview. Had I known,
had I been alerted
that you were a troglodyte, I would have.
That's one of the nicest things I've been called. When I'm in P-Town during Carnival, I'll look at all those cameras and I'll wave to you.
Yeah, it's the one. It might be called Laffy Taffy. It's beside Town Hall. If you're looking at Town Hall, it's to the right. It's where they do the saltwater taffy. There's a camera right up there, so just wave to that one or the one above Spiritus.
Will do. Well, thank you so much, and
you're very welcome.
Have fun with the bingo. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good to talk to you.
Yes.
Bye.
Yes. Bye. That was too much. Thank you so much, Charlie, for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to Amber LeMay. Thank you. Back to you, Amber. All right. Yes, we're out of town, but you know what? We still have to eat. And you know what we're going to eat? Something from Lucy Bell. I wonder if it's going to be this episode of Bitchin' in the Kitchen.
Bitchin' in the kitchen with Lucy Bell.
Hey everybody, it's Lucy Bell LeMay here with another episode of Bitchin' in the Kitchen, come to you from the hot damn trailer park in Beaver Pond, Vermont. We're gonna make a cake, and it's almost ready because I had to cook it ahead of time because it's got to cool a little bit. And I thought, why not let it cool and then we'll maybe come up with a cocktail. All you need is a 9x13 dish, buttered real good, and dump in a can of pineapple with the juice, crushed pineapple, and cherry pie filling, and a cake mix. All you need is just the powder. And you just sprinkle that on top, spread it around, and then top it with butter, a whole stick of butter. Just cut it in little bitty pieces and lay it out. Oh, it's perfect. Now, let's take it out of the oven and see how it turned out. Oh, beautiful. Isn't it a good thing I got to go to the grocery store? Isn't that lovely? Oh, smells better than Grandma's butt ball. Yes, it turned out beautiful. Now we gotta let it cool a little bit, okay? So while it's cooling, let's make ourselves a cocktail. Let me grab my bar. Ta-da! Okay, so what goes better with cake than coffee? Yeah, we're going to make ourselves a coffee drink. So I got my little amber mug. Amber's mug. Oh, God. I never thought I would drink out of anything with Amber's mug on it. So fill it about half full with coffee. There we go. And then we're going to do a ½ ounce of the maple cream liqueur. Oops. Good stuff. Well, we're just going to guess. There you go. Looks good. And a little bit of Jameson, some Irish whiskey. Let's do a shot of that. Oh, yeah. And we're going to top it with a little whipped cream. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Oh, and I'm going to use my new straw that Amber gave me. Oh, screw that. Where's my dick straw? There we go. Oh, so good. You guys got to try this. It's a wonderful for a cold day. Now, let's try our cake. Oh, yes. I didn't get the stuff out for the cake. Oh, it's got a crunchy top. That's what that butter does. Look at all that gooey. You know what's even going to make it better? A little fireball. Put a little ice cream on top. I like a crunchy top. Very good. Hey, you guys take care, and I'll see you next week.
And now, let's take a deep breath. And, well, I guess we can't take a deep breath because Rocco's here. Rocco, I think Rocco's here. There he is.
Hey,
Rocco Zamboni.
how you doing, Amber?
Oh, I tell you, I feel like I've been in P-Town.
No kidding. Good Lord. First off, I'm trying to catch up to Ryan. Oh, my God. I'm going to be here all night doing that.
You're going to have to catch up, that's for sure.
Hey, did I ever tell you the time last year I was actually at P-Town? Did you know that?
No.
All right, let me explain. I wanted a vacation. I figured, you know what? I heard about, Provincetown And I figured, that sounds like a good place to go check out. And then I looked at the brochure, and they had something called Bear Week. Bear Week? Are you kidding me? There's going to be grizzlies, koala bears. I'm like, Kodiak bears. And I'm thinking the polar bears are going to obviously want to go to there and get out of the cold for a little while. So I'm going to Bear Week. Let me tell you something. It is not what you think it is.
It's not.
No. I get there expecting to see Yogi Bear, and I see some hairy guy just wolfing down beers wearing leather and stuff. I'm like, they didn't say this in the brochure. So, of course I stayed, I was like, I'm going to check it out because I'm Rocco. I want to see what's going on. And let me tell you, it was fun. I had a good time. These guys were crazy, I had to keep my pants on because it was a little crazy for Rocco, but I got some pictures I could even show you.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, please.
You want to see them? Let me show you some pictures. Hold on. Russell, you want to show? Russell's got it. All right.
Oh.
These two guys. All right, let me explain. I had to cover the faces because, sometimes guys might tell their wives, listen, I'm going on a fishing trip, and they end up in P-Town. I'm not here to out anybody. So these two guys wanted to get married, and, since I'm an ordained marriage kind of guy, I was happy to oblige. And as you can tell, I was a little drunk, all right? Now, let's see the next picture. Look, a tea party. I still don't know what the hell a tea party is. What the hell
Alice was playing music at that tea party.
I don't know what's going on. I was drunk. All right, next picture. All right, now let me tell you something. These guys were hilarious, but I was still pretty scared. Next picture. All right, this one's my new friend. I forgot his name, but I kind of forgot that whole night. It was a little nuts in that pool. So, last picture.
Oh,
hey, here I'm hanging out with the Bear Claw gang. These guys were fun, I think, because I was pretty drunk. I don't know. They told me I had a good time. So let me tell you, I recommend. I know you're all into the carnival thing. You can get rid of that picture now. We've seen enough of those guys, right?
Do you know what the worst job to have in P-Town during Bear Week?
I'm afraid to find out. What?
Unclogging drains.
Oh, God. Yeah, I heard that when they're all in the pool, it's called bear soup.
Oh, you've done your research.
Yeah, I was there. I saw it. It was just not my thing, but I still had a good time. I recommend it to anybody who wants to go check out bears.
Bears. Huh?
Don't expect bears from the zoo like I did. I made that mistake. I've lived and learned. It happens.
And you're a better person for it.
I am a better person for it. Maybe I'll go to this carnival thing you guys are talking about. That sounds fun.
It really is. Well, we have a couch for you.
All right. Are there a lot of ladies there?
There might be. I don't know.
I'll find one. Whatever.
Well, Rocco, you have a good week. Thank you for stopping by.
You too, Amber. And hey, everybody, whatever. Have a good time this week. Good week. See you later.
All right. Thank you, Rocco. Oh, my. Got to have Rocco stop by, and I'm glad he had a good experience in P-Town.
Well, that wraps up tonight's show. And next week we have, I'm not going to tell you. No, you're going to have to check on Facebook or on YouTube. We'll have some clips on there. And if you know when we're coming on live, we might do that too. So get with it. Check with amberlive.tv, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Why do we watch this every week?
Because our moms let us stay up extra late for it.
Well, it might be time to rethink that deal.